Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Tuesday, August 6th, day 22 in the Big Brother house. And we're still going through the fallout from yesterday's POV ceremony. So, another very quick recap. Tucker won the power veto on Saturday. Tucker and Kenny and Cam and Cedric formed a couple of different alliances over the weekend, decided to, at Tucker's insistence, for Tucker to use the power veto to get Quinn up and voted out because Tucker revealed to some that didn't know that Quinn had a power and what his power was, which was much bigger power than MJ's. But Cedric kind of got cold feet, kind of didn't want to do it because, you know what, he's got an alliance with Quinn. Matter of fact, he's in two different alliances with Quinn, and he didn't want to blow up those alliances. And so, without explaining that he had alliances with Tucker, he decided he didn't want to do it. And so, yesterday morning, he exposed this plan to those two alliances and decided he wasn't going to do what Tucker wanted. Tried to cover all his bases and talk Tucker out of doing it and saying, I don't think it's going to work. But Tucker decided, nope, I'm doing it anyways. Now, this is a point of contention from Tucker because Tucker's like, you never told me not to use it. And he certainly did. And we have video proof of Tucker saying, Cedric saying to Tucker, do not use the power veto. And Tucker said, I'm using it. And that's all there is to it. And he did. I just retweeted earlier this morning a video of Cedric recapping all of the events, the power veto events to the viewers. He actually did it in the diary room, and they played it for us. So that was nice of them that we got to see it. And he basically said what we all thought, that he tried to talk Tucker out of it. He then didn't put up Quinn as Tucker wanted, and he put up MJ. MJ used her power, took herself off, and now America's putting up the next nominee, which will happen, of course, live on Thursday's show. And the blow-up was, we've seen parts of the blow-ups. There was more blow-ups going on last night. There's been a major reshuffling and reworking of alliances. I think things are still settling out. In the end, Cedric points out that he's actually not in that bad of shape, except for having Tucker as a number one enemy now. And he's kind of right, because he did expose all of this workings with Kenny and Cam, and Cam did too, obviously, with Kenny and Tucker to this Pentagon Alliance. So the Pentagon Alliance is his core alliance at this point. It has to be. And remember, within that, he has a sub-alliance, the 3 Cs, with Chelsea and Cam. And the other one is Brooklyn. Kenny also apparently blew up his alliances, or his relationships that he had just started working on, really, in all the course of all this. And that he said that he was actually targeting, who was it, Takor, and I can't remember who else. But he was talking about who was safe. He said Brooklyn would have been safe, but he was going after Takor and maybe Chemo. Maybe it was Chemo that he was going after. And then Leah was like, what about me? And he said, oh no, you were safe too. I mean, just the amount of blowing up that happened to games yesterday. And yet, Rabina is still going up to Tucker like, I still got you, I'm still kind of with you, privately. I don't know if that's a good idea for Rabina or not. She's not, honestly, at this point, she's not coming across as a very strong player. She's kind of seems to be latching on more than actually, thinking on her own and making moves on her own, which just, that's something that I guess people have been saying. She's not like she's seen as a super strong player. Who else? What else? I don't know. Nothing. Last night was a continuation of Tucker's blow up. Tucker is still talking. Tucker is basically he's been talking about working on very little sleep, something I hadn't covered I don't think in the past few podcasts. He and someone told me all the house guests got earplugs yesterday to hopefully help them sleep. I've been told that it's happened in the past. I don't remember it, but that doesn't mean it hasn't happened. It's just something that I didn't file away in my, my packed brain of different Big Brother information. But so we've got Tucker with earplugs now, maybe getting more sleep, because I was starting to think that, he's kind of reminding me of another house guest who had sleep issues a couple of seasons ago and kind of went off the deep end. Tucker is a wild card. I'm sure that the casting group knew what they were getting when they cast him, and he has been, TV gold, as it were, on the one hand, but my oh my, the amount of drama that he has brought, it's a flame. He's like a flame. He is going to burn brightly and he's going to burn out, but it's going to be entertaining while it burns, right? I cannot see Tucker lasting too terribly much longer. I don't know if he'll make jury. I just don't know. I'm just not sure. And I'm okay with that. He's provided a lot of entertainment. But I just have a suspicion that people are going to say, if we have the chance to get him out, let's get him out. And they may have that opportunity on Thursday, right? Because if Cedric is to be believed, and that is not necessarily a lock, but if Cedric is to be believed, then the House, enough people in the House have agreed that they are not going to vote out whomever America selects to be the third nominee. That they are going to vote out whomever is left if only one of the two, if either Kenny or Tucker is standing versus America's player on Thursday night, they're going to vote out either Tucker or Kenny. If it is Tucker versus Kenny, I'm not sure. I am not sure who they're going to vote out. I could see them voting out Tucker just to get rid of that very strong comp threat, as well as a very disruptive force in the House. I can see that happening. Now, we think that Quinn could likely be America's nomination. Of course, this hasn't happened yet. This will come up Thursday night or Wednesday night after the show. At the end of the show, they'll do it. They'll put the nominee up on the screen, the people to select from, which will be almost everybody. And the question is, who's America going to pick? And people seem to feel like it's going to be Quinn. That's the online people too, and the people that we identify as TV watchers, which is a lot of Facebook fans that don't seem to be plugged in. They only react to the TV show. That's where people are basing their guesses that it's going to be Quinn. So, if it comes down to Quinn or Tucker, I would think that people keep Quinn. Now, all that to say that everyone is now aware of Quinn's power. And Quinn pretty much sounds like he's going to use his power on next week. It's his last week to use it. He basically has a given head of household, and somebody isn't going to have it. And I think they're all going to... It will be interesting to see. Let's say that Quinn stays. Does everybody throw the power veto? Does everybody throw the head of household because there's no point in having it? Because you'll lose it? And will whoever wins the head of household next week be eligible to play in the next one? Will Quinn be eligible to play in the next one? Or will he have to throw it since he used his thing? I think, if I remember correctly, when this has been used in the past, the person who won it had to throw the next competition. So it may be the case that that he'll have to throw the next competition if he uses it. Does he know that? Does he remember that? I'm not sure. Okay, so what do we got going here? This is actually not going to be as long as I thought, because I've told you all of this stuff already. If you haven't heard this, you should listen to the last 3, because I did 3 yesterday. and I did one on Sunday. But the basic gist of things is you got Tucker and Kenny currently nominated. The Power Veto, America's Power Veto, has been played after Tucker played his Power Veto. And we're waiting to see who the third nominee is going to be, and that's going to be decided by us starting tomorrow night after the episode. Here's the other thing to keep in mind. There's a couple other things in note that I pointed out last night. This, believe it or not, will kind of calm down. Not calm down. This will be a, quote, distant memory in a couple of weeks. 3 weeks, maybe. Remember, we're at day 22, and there's 90 days. So we're a quarter, just not even quite a quarter of the way done. Yeah, we're about a quarter. We're just shy of a quarter of the way done. Tomorrow will be over a quarter of the way done, right? So we're right there. We're right on the borderline of a quarter of the way through the season. We're not going to remember this at the halfway point. We'll remember it. We'll talk. But as far as things, a lot more will have gone on in some way, shape, or form. It may not be as dramatic, but so much will have gone on. They'll be like, "Oh, remember when that happened, right? When was that? How did that starts to happen?" So enjoy it. It's been fun. It's been exciting. Also, all of this that has gone on has to be shown, except for once what's her name? Once McKinsey, MJ, did her power, that's going to be about the end of Wednesday's show, I think. I mean, they could show the blow-up if they decide we need to show the blow-up. They could. They just don't seem to, I guess is what I should say. We've thought in the past, oh, well, they'll show all of this, and then they don't. They want to end on that cliffhanger. I mean, they may end on the cliffhanger, there's a huge fight, but there was so much going on. They could show, there's going to be so much going on today that they could show on Wednesday's show if they wanted to. Just cut the stupid Power Veto competition. Just edit it down so it's not as long. But they won't do that. They will make that last. They will stretch it out. Of all the stuff that has gone on since nominations, right? They've got to tell the story. So tomorrow night's show has to show the results of the nomination of the 3 nominations. It'll need to show Tucker winning the Power Veto, the meeting, the formation of the alliance, the Shake 'em Up alliance, followed by the meeting with Cam that added it to called the Ball Players Alliance, or the Players Club, whatever the heck it was, alliance. And then the Power Veto ceremony, and then Cedric revealing these things, having doubts and revealing these things, and then the Power Veto ceremony, and then they got all that's got to be shown. In addition to, they'll spend at least 10 minutes on the competition, which is because that's the easiest part to show, right? I mean, it's the easiest part to put together because it's fairly light. You can, this happens. The other stuff, they have to work hard to tell a story and decide how they're going to put the edits in and what they're going to show and what they're not going to show. The easiest part to show is the competition. Plus, they can haul the house guests in and have them narrate the competition much easier. There's so much. They need more time. And yet they've got these competitions. The AI competition on Thursday. That's going to fill up time. And they have to show all that stuff. Okay, I'll stop now. I'm talking about stuff that we haven't even gotten to yet. We've got a whole other day. before Wednesday's show. So there will be stuff going on today. There will be more drama today. I guarantee you there will be more drama. There will be some apologies made. There will be some hugs. There will be some, oh, you know what, I kind of blew up. However, this is life or death now for one of these people, right? It's not, the House is not, I think, completely agreed on Kenny or Tucker. And they don't know who that third nominee is going to be. Although watching them speculate on who the third nominee is going to be, is hilarious. I said that Joseph needs to turn in his super fan card. Joseph proclaims himself to be such a super fan, and yet his theory walking around is that the people that haven't gotten much airtime are the ones that are going to end up on the block. The ones that are boring and quiet and haven't been seen much, they aren't. It's going to be the ones, and you've already heard me talk about this, it's going to be the ones who are seen as the ones that are least liked, that get the most amount of airtime. And it's possible that Quinn could be that person, in part because of his edit where he was shown as throwing Angela under the bus, which is interesting because Angela isn't well liked, and yet that's where I'm thinking that maybe they're going to decide that Quinn isn't well liked, because he's been in the diary room a lot. He's a bit cocky. And so maybe the public is just like, I don't like that guy. I'm going to vote for him to be up. Okay, I'm going down rabbit holes. We're going to wrap this puppy up. Tell you to have a good Wednesday or Tuesday. That's not only Tuesday. And I do not anticipate multiple podcasts today. We'll see. I did have a thought. Now, this happened yesterday when all this was going on, and I thought, you know what? Should I do more? Should I do more very short podcasts where I give you guys quick updates? I don't know. I don't know if there are those of you that want this longer form or prefer just jump on, do a really quick, here's what's going on, this, and this, because I don't have time to go look online. I just depend on my podcast lighting up and knowing that you're going to tell me that's what's going on. I'm not sure. I have a suspicion that it's a mixed batch of what people want. But if you have feedback, because I've been getting very little feedback this year about my podcast, let me know what you think. Do you like the longer ones, or do you want short ones in between? Would you be annoyed if you had a longer morning one where I do what I did just now, and I talk about generals, and then an afternoon one where I simply jump on and say, hey, nothing big has happened during the day so far. It's been pretty quiet. And that's it. I just jump right back off. Maybe a 2-minute, 3-minute little podcast. Or does that disrupt your podcast listening? Because for some people, if that jumps in front of you, they don't listen in the afternoon, and they'll have two, and they may not hear the original. I'm not sure. Am I making sense? Let me know, please. Give me some feedback. Either tweet at me or email me at ilovereality@gmail.com, because I don't mind doing little short ones in the afternoon, because I'm certainly thinking about Big Brother, but at the same time, I don't want to annoy people with too much. All right? Okay, let me know. Have a good one. We'll talk to you, if not later, tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye.